I thought they were done. They're not. Now, if we've looked at this song before, we haven't, right? You guys have sent in Metallica before, but probably not this one. Okay, let's check this out. Let's just make sure that the volume's okay. I don't want to blast your ears off. Let's see. Okay, I hope this is okay. Is that too loud? Wait, why does this sound... Oh, right. Freaking Remastered. Alright, so this is Disposable Heroes by Metallica. We're gonna listen to this today. I'm a fake metalhead. I do not know much about Metallica. I do not know much about metal in general. Let's see what I think about this. I'm excited because I know that Metallica is like the dads of metal or something. What? I don't actually know, but I know that they're a classic. And I'm super excited to be listening to this. Why did you guys send in the remastered version? It always sounds different. I know Metallica for how raw they sound. How raw and sloppy and just energy filled. There's no original master available, sadly. What? How can he do that? Things so much changes when you remaster something. That's the case with a lot of classic records. Why did they do that? That's so sad. Anyway, let's listen to this. Yeah, this sounds so polished. This does not remind me of Metallica. Like, if you listen to their original music videos, they do not sound this polished. This sounds too clean to be Metallica. Ooh. Oh, I like the bass tone. That's a fun thing they did with the drums. Ooh, the switch up. There you go. You know what I think so far? How can they be so relaxed in the vocals and so aggressive at the same time? It's actually so insane how this type of singing technique does not sound like they're straining themselves. I could be wrong, but in post, as in like in this recording, it sounds like they're more using vocal technique to compensate for like loudness or aggressiveness. And it works so well. You can feel that the vocalist isn't exactly yelling their face away, but it sounds very controlled, very aggressive at the same time because of the way that they say things. It's like, wow, 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 loud, but it's not. They're not being like super, super, super loud, like I can imagine in the studio. Oh, James was definitely straining himself. He blew out his voice several years later and had to learn better technique. Oh my god! Let me keep listening. I think it's just the way that they mastered this. They kind of like mellowed down the way that, you know how when you like double the vocals and stuff like that, it kind of makes everything sound very mushy. So you can't hear the grit in their voice very well, like the you know, that thing. And because of the way that this is mixed, it sounds smoothed out, if that makes sense. Maybe that's why I had... Because I've heard unmastered Metallica tracks before, and I just don't really like how the remastered version sounds for some reason. But let's keep listening. I think that's why I don't like the remastered version. It kind of smushes out the vocals in a way. And then it loses that raw aggressive feel that comes from the vocalist. And it starts to sound effortless instead because of the mixing. Back to the front. I know there are like multiple layers of vocals here, probably 2 or more, I'm not sure. You know what? We gotta compare this against the original. I'm sure they have a music video or something out there. I love this riff. Oh, okay, we go back to that. I love how they bait you by switching up like the rhythms. You coward, you servant, you blind man. I love the group vocals. Who does the group vocals? Is it like the entire band? Or do they hire a crowd to do that? Ooh. Oh, I like that big sound. You know they're picking quite hard when that happens. they bait you with the drum pattern. It's mostly James Hetfield, so it's just like a million layers of him. That's so cool. Who needs a crowd when you can be the crowd? I love how they just switch right into that solo. You know, at this point in the song, hold on, let me pause. At this point in the song, you can kind of feel how this is so war coded. I mean, obviously, it's talking about war, you know, back to the front. And, you know, obviously in the art, in the album art, this is, you know, helmet, you have that tag. So, yeah, master of puppets, sending people to their deaths, you know, like it's so apparent in the lyrics and everything. And I love how clear the pronunciation is. I did not have to look at lyrics to be able to understand this, which is insane. I usually rely so much on subtitles or having to read lyrics, but I didn't need that for this song. The pronunciation is just so clear. So yeah, you can hear that this is so... It is about war, and you can hear the aggression of, you know, the fight. So, you know, the feeling is coming across very well. Like, even the machine gun guitars is telling a story. I can imagine the entire scene of this song in my head while I listen to it. I thought they were done! They're not! Oh, there you go. That's where it ends. Oh my god, that was so cool. Alright, chat. I gotta find the original version. What year was it? What year was it that you guys said the first master was? Disposable Heroes. 1986. Thank you. Yeah, that fake out at the end. It sounded like they were gonna end the song, but they did not. That's so cool to me. Oh, there's like a live show. There's also the original 1986 studio recording. Okay, let me... Is this exactly... Why does this sound better? Hold on. stick out more here. The vocals are... You can hear more of the vocals. They're not squished and smushed into the music. Oh my god! Yeah, this doesn't sound as smushed together, if that makes sense. You can hear every single instrument in its own space, and the vocal is right smack in the middle. This sounds so much better, what the hell? Even the solo has its own space. And the drums kind of hit better. Like, you hear more dynamics in the drums. What? Why did they remaster it if they wanted to make it worse? Yeah, that too. Listen to the bass. Hold on. You can hear... You can hear the clang coming from the bass. Like... You know? Why did they remaster it if the original was fine? That's so strange. I mean, that kind of happens though. Like, I think in the 2000s, they were probably trying to win the loudness war. Ah, man, I like this version so much better. Why did you send in the remastered version when you knew that the original was better? But yeah, I'm glad we're all on the same page here. This genuinely sounds so much punchier. Also, you could turn the volume up and it would sound smackier. Listen to that. Smacking you across the face. That is so good.